Quick shout out to my Patreons who keep this channel going. You can join my Patreon down in the description below. What's guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're interacting to the 4th episode of Duke of Definite Maid. This one's titled The Duke, Alice, and Memories of Snow. So I'm guessing we're either coming into the winter time now, or at least reminiscing about the winter time, and probably some memories we have attached to that. Not quite sure where we're going with it, but it's probably a memory that the Duke and Alice probably share at some point, which, I mean, they probably share a lot of memories. I mean, they mentioned that they've known each other since like childhood, right? And she's just been the one that has kind of stuck around with him through all of this. So they have a lot of history, so it makes perfect sense they have memories of Snow and stuff like that. We still have some characters to introduce based on the OP. We have the other redhead that's not the sister, and whatever that weird bird thing is. I don't know when they're coming in. This episode makes me feel like they're not going to be introduced just yet, just because I feel like, well, the second episode was the Duke, his butler, and we got introduced to the butler and such like that. Although last week we also were introduced to, well, no, it wasn't last week, was it? It was, wait, when did we get introduced to the sister? When was the sister, actually? I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, it was episode 2, so never mind. So yeah. So we didn't necessarily get introduced to the sister in episode 2, and it wasn't part of the title, so I guess it's not 100% representative, but I feel like this is going to be more Duke and Alice building, which is perfectly fine. I mean, this is the main draw of the show, is their romance, and it's interesting to see how far they can push that romance with, obviously, the stipulation of no touching, although, considering, well, actually, getting rid of that stipulation on that actually makes a lot of sense, and is something I quite enjoy, because that means there's no, like, accidental ecchi moments, necessarily. All the ecchi in this show, and everything, like, suggestive like that, is 100% purposeful by the characters themselves. Particularly Alice, let's be real, because she's very flirtatious in that sense, and it's nice to have a character that's confident like that, and it's not a case of, oh no, the wind accidentally blew up my skirt, you see something. It's like, not that, it's just like, she's just like, oh, you want to peek? It's nice to have a character like that for once, because you don't tend to get that type in a romance show. Like, it just doesn't happen. It's normally the, there was a show that actually summed it up really, really well, but I forget what the phrasing was. It was like, oh, I forget what show it was. I really do, but I remember it was a phrase like accidental ecchi and stuff like that. I think it might have been Hidden Dungeon, Only I Can Enter. I think that had that aspect to his character, and he was like, oh, okay, well, that's a good source for his LP points. But, yeah, I like that they mocked that idea as well. But yeah, last time we learned about the princess that was imprisoned on the moon. I don't know if that's necessarily, like, a play on the Kaguya story, because I don't think that's quite how the Kaguya story went. I think it's a separate thing, maybe inspired by, but kind of not same thing. I can't remember the Kaguya story so well right now, but it was the time in which they went on their date, which we actually made an important discovery in that as long as we protected him in this metal cage and the cloth and everything, so he wasn't seen and stuff, he could reasonably walk around town, and even if someone were to accidentally bump into him, it didn't affect it, because they hit the cage, they didn't hit the Duke himself. The question is, how much of a barrier is enough, necessarily? Like, obviously, it's a whole cage structure that's, like, separated from him, and then there's the cloth over the top of that, so it wouldn't hit, but, like, obviously it can go through his own clothing, but if he was to, like, if he was in, say, a suit of armor, for example, like, full plate mail, if you touched him then, would that still trigger it? I think it probably would, because it's like, that's still him, whereas, like, the cage was, like, a separate thing entirely. Like, yes, he was wearing the cage, but it was still just a cage, not, like, actual clothing. Maybe I'm thinking too much about the mechanics of the curse, but the curse itself is going to be interesting, because I don't think we're going to solve it in terms of this anime season, because this is, what, 12 episodes, if I remember correctly? Yes, 12 episodes. And since the manga's still ongoing, almost certainly we do not solve the curse in this season. we might make some progress on it, and I would hope so. I feel like if we don't progress anything on the curse, this is going to get a bit samey and runs the risk of getting a little boring over time. Even as much as I love these characters, I think it has that risk. But exploring the curse is going to be an interesting part of it. Why the curse happened in the first place, I think we'll learn that at the very least. Or have a good idea on why the curse was initiated. And we'll have an idea on what we can do to either work around it for the time being, or find a way that we can actually get rid of it in the future. I feel like that's the type of direction we're going, but I guess we'll see. I don't know if this is going to go necessarily an anime original route with it. I don't think it will, since it is still an ongoing production, and usually with these types of anime, if it's an ongoing production, you kind of want to promote it. So having an anime original ending that, like, wraps it up kind of doesn't incentivize you to go read the manga to see where it continues off, right? Like, one of the most common comments I see towards the end of series is like, oh, what chapter in the light novel or manga, like, do I continue on from where I've watched in the anime? Because they don't necessarily want to reread what they've already done. They want to go and continue on straight from there because they're so invested in the show, right? So, anyway, curious to see where that ends up going. But loading up this episode, as per usual, these are time-based format access on our YouTube. If you want to see the full picture and pitch, you can go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 per month gets you access to all picture and picture access on the channel, which is everything from the current seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as World Trigger, Sympho Gear, and Lock Horizon. Lock Horizon's coming today, Sympho Gear's coming today, World Trigger will come tomorrow, I believe is how this is working. Straight after this, I'm going to go record Log Horizon, so we know that's definitely coming. Sorry it took a month to get to that, or longer than a month, I think, which is terrible, but we will finish Log Horizon, I swear to God, we'll get there. Yeah, here on YouTube we do time-based, so bottom left of the screen you'll see a time for the episode. I'll count down 3, 2, 1, play. And on play side episode, I say episode, we should be in sync. Watch this one on Funimation as per usual, since they're the ones who license the series. We have the Universal logo and then the Funimation logo, so it's 31 seconds logos, which is the longest intro in anime. At least currently, I'm sure there'll be a longer one eventually, but I hope not. But you can screen flash on my face at the mic or this part of my headset to tell when the scenes are transitioning. That should be synced up as well. So, with all that said, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Universal, strap in. And Funimation, at long last. Alright, here we go. To an extent, those in long-distance relationships have an idea of what that's like. Obviously not quite as extreme as this, but... Mm-hmm. You couldn't kiss her at the meteor thing. I think you're okay. I think you're okay. Hi, Rob. Ooh, new books. Range by genre, okay. Oof. Oof. That look. Made a little promise together. Hopefully in 10 years you won't have the... Oof. Oof. What's going on? I love Rob's just standing there watching. I mean, yes. What's going on here? Um, it's not. uh, oof. Rob's just wanting all this. Yeah. Oh, hello. Uh, feverish? That's very, like, potential fever symptom look. Yeah. She's absolutely got, like, a fever. Yeah. Don't push yourself too hard. Hmm. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Uh, no. No. Hmm. OP time. I do like Bocchan. I do hope it works out for them eventually, obviously, but I say that about pretty much every romance anime. Pretty much all of them. There are some where I have my opinions. So yeah, there's that red hairs and this bird thing, and another character at the end there. Alright, the Duke Alice and Memories of Snow. I guess it is winter. Hmm. uh, you'd be surprised at how much it warms you up. I am speaking from experience there. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. God, I love these two. Hmm. Comes the snow. We really don't. Oh, the cats. Okay, nice little callback to them. Hmm. uh. 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 Oh boy. Oh, nice dodge. Not quite Matrix, but. uh. So dumb. That's true. Oh boy. Uh oh. Holy shit. Oh, I love you, Rob. Nice. Hmm. Jesus Christ. Alice, stop. Stop. Uh, hmm. Oh no. That's probably out in the snow somewhere. Hmm. Where's it gonna be? Is it Bocchan out? Yeah, he's out looking for it. I don't even know how you'd start looking except just like he's doing digging randomly. Oh Jesus Christ! It's not like they have a metal detector or anything, is it? I don't think we're modern enough for civilization for metal detectors. Unless we had like magic or something, but that's not at our disposal right now. Please don't freeze to death. We're in trouble. That's about. Hmm. Oh shit. I'm guessing this is probably our redhead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. That's a long time to wait. Yeah, it'll probably get rusty as well. And he's out again. And we can't. Yeah? Holy shit. Not the fire effects I expected. Holy shit. Wow. Cuff, okay. You're a witch. Okay. Rob. Rob. He's not gonna be in the pot. Okay, that was the first logical question. Mm-hmm. I think Alice can handle herself. Bocchan, calm yourself. Calm yourself. What is this bit? What is this? Uh, so dumb. Was that like an original thing they created, or was that like a reference that they used? Okay. Oof. Okay. Hmm. We could bribe you with food though. Food bribery always works. Mm-hmm. Okay. Don't know anything about the curse. Yeah, not all witches know each other. Hmm. It's been a long time as well. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Never truly accepted by witches. Never truly accepted by humanity. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Thinking back on that character. Okay. Okay. That's straight shooter. Mm. Okay, so we need to kind of find the friends. Hmm. Mm. And she just leaves. Okay. Okay, so potentially Sundari about the friend. Or there's something more up with that. I'm guessing the friend is the bird thing, but guess we'll see. Hmm. Hmm. Aw. Hmm. Hmm. That's a nice transition to the ED, actually. It was just a straight cut, but I like the thing they do with the umbrella, at least. God, that was a good episode. Alright, so we've got two more characters left to introduce. At least two theoretically important characters. I'm assuming that bird thing is probably the friend. We'll probably meet them at some point. We've helped one half of them, so it looks like we'll help the other half at some point. That was a good episode, though. Alright, little after bit. Those words again. Next time. A crow and ice skating. So yeah, I think we are going to be introduced to the other one now. I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily say they look like a crow. But I'm assuming that's where we're going with it. Like, we've introduced the idea that she has a friend, we know there's a bird person coming. Makes the most amount of sense, right? So I assume that's who we're going to be meeting next week. And that'll be our main 5 characters all together, I suppose. Well, no, 6 if we count the sister, sorry. I don't know how... Well, we also have the rest of the family that I guess will come into play later, but that seems like a later idea. I feel like conflict with the family is going to be a major part of this season. Because, like I said, I don't think we can resolve the curse this season. Because as soon as you resolve the curse, this becomes a generic romance story. And I don't think that's desirable. Because then you lose your uniqueness to your IP. So, we'll learn about the curse, probably. We'll, learn who did it. Maybe it is that one that we saw last week's episode. That was whilst we were out on the date. It might not be directly them, or they just might work for or know of the one that ended up doing it. They seem to have potentially a history of Alice. I forget exactly what they said to Alice, though. There was something mentioned, I think. Nothing, super specific, but there was, something between those two. Oh, no, they recognized Alice's mother. So, that's kind of interesting. Beyond that, though, I can't remember what they said. Yeah. Nice episode between the two of them. Very, very much enjoying this show. I like Cuff. Interesting character. I like how... What's the word I'm looking for here when it comes to this? Direct the characters are with things they say. Alice is very direct in her teasing and her affection for Bocchan, especially when it comes to teasing him as of a sexual nature as well. Cuff is very direct with the way she thinks and the way she explains things, which is nice. It's refreshing to have characters that say what they mean rather than try and bounce around what they mean. If that makes sense. Normally a girl in Alice's position would be much more shy, much more reserved, and would never actually put herself out there in those situations. Those situations would just so happen to line up for the guy, rather than the girl being the one to enact those scenarios. Like I said, Alice is the one that's showing her panties rather than a gust of wind letting our main character see the panties, right? There's a difference there. And it's a welcome difference because there's only so many times you can see just a poor excuse for an MC, very much a self-insert type MC. You know the ones that are just hopeless and you're like, oh, if I was in that position, I'd do so much better. That's the self-insert types that is designed to be that way. And it's a part of romance anime that I hope becomes less prevalent because you're doing yourself out of a very good character. If you make a very interesting male character, you will then root for his and one of the girls, if you're going to have multiple girls, or the main female leads romance together. I'm very supporting of Juku and Alice right now because I think they go well together. They have a nice chemistry together. They have a lot of history together, and it just feels very natural for them. We don't have the harem aspect to contend with just yet. I don't know if we'll ever introduce that. It doesn't seem like the show that will. They're so openly honest with each other about how they feel right now that, honestly, I don't think there ever needs to be a harem aspect. And so, yeah, we now have a lot of scope to play around with the male character and backstory and his thoughts and feelings on certain events that self-insert types just don't get. Think, let's say, Kazuya Rent-A-Girlfriend. That's a good example. Let's see, what other... I just need to go and search for romance anime from this year. Well, let's say last year, 2020, because I have watched a few more there. So, like, Rent-A-Girlfriend is obviously a big one. What else did we have? We've got a lot of good examples of ones that aren't like that. So, like, Tonikawa. Nasa from Tonikawa was very much in direct contrast to that. To an extent, Sakurai from Uzaki-chan was kind of like that. To an extent. Yota from Day I Became a God, he was kind of like a self-insert type character. I hated him by the end of that show, though. Another one that went very much against it was Science Fan Love, so I tried to prove it. That definitely tried to break the mold of that. And I'm so glad that's getting a season 2 here soon. It is next year, so we've still got a while to wait, but I'm so happy to get that show back at some point. What's another example of a show that did that? I'm trying to find one now. Where is it? Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World very much felt like that in the first few episodes that I watched, so that's why I ended up dropping it. One of the biggest surprises, actually, is Mr. Love's Queen's Choice. I'm surprised that this show only has a 59% rating on AniList. I feel like that's severely underrated for what the show ended up being. I'm glad it hit 61% by the time of the show airing, but it's dropped back down to 59. It deserves higher than that. Also, the airing watcher progression was absolutely terrible. It had 2,800 people concurrently watching by the end of the run, which is very, very low. And it's only hit 3,000 completed since then. And it's been a year since the show started airing. It was actually a really good show and had a very, very passionate following as well. Like, I remember this was the first show since I was doing the channel that ultimately felt like it was like whoa, people are really committed to this show and are really invested in the world and the setting and everything around it. Like, I hadn't had a show really hit that same level until, I guess, Symphogear was the next one that really hit that same level of, like, people really care. Like, the Symphogear fandom is something entirely else. But Miss Love Queen's Choice hit that level as well. And it was very much surprising to me because I did not expect it. Because it looked like just one of those generic reverse harem type shows that ultimately I was like, okay, this is going to be something. But then it ended up being really goddamn interesting. So, anyway, I've rambled on long enough. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the one as per usual. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments where you thought the episode. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the summer 2021 lineup you can find it on the channel. Thank you for watching. Till next time. See you guys later.